Goku and Vegeta have been going neck and neck for years now. But they both seem to be walking different paths. That wasn't always the case. Goku and Vegeta could have both been walking the same path as each other, but the events during their childhood stopped that from happening. Saiyans are a warrior race that are infamous throughout the universe for their thirst of blood. They travel to planets, bringing entire species to extinction just to later sell that planet. While one might say Frieza's rule over them was the reasoning for their evil ways, that would be far from the truth. Before they started selling planets for Frieza, they were fighting amongst themselves. Once Sadala was no longer a suitable place to live, they moved to Planet Plant, killed all of the Sufurians, and then renamed it Planet Vegeta. This was all before Code stepped in. Saiyans are born to kill. It was the reason Kakarot and Vegeta were born. Kakarot's path would diverge from the rest of the Saiyans, however, as Frieza destroyed Planet Vegeta. Kakarot's parents sent him to Earth to escape. There he would get into an accident, bumping his head and forgetting everything about his origin. Vegeta also survived, working under Frieza and continuing the Saiyan tradition of planetary genocide and planetary destruction, as well as planetary cell, I guess. Kakarot became Goku and adopted good values from an Earthling known as Gohan. Goku became a pure-hearted man and a martial artist, also looking for a new challenge and looking to better himself, improving mind, body, and spirit through training. Goku became a family man and will continue to live in peace, his carefree attitude only being put on the back burner when a new threat arrived. Goku's life at this point is very different from Vegeta's. One day, the two would cross paths with one another. Once their paths crossed, one of them would end up switching and following the other. During the battle on Namek, not only did Goku surpass Vegeta in power, but he also was the first to reach the legendary status of Super Saiyan, something Vegeta would desperately struggle to achieve, but achieve it nonetheless. Goku became a Super Saiyan because of his life experiences, training, and the pain of losing a loved one. Vegeta would also obtain this state throughout hellish training and desperation. While pain was indeed the catalyst for Vegeta transforming, it was a different kind of pain. Vegeta's pain was in his own weakness, giving him a legendary rage, turning him into a Super Saiyan. Although Vegeta was a Super Saiyan, he was still walking a completely different path from Goku. See, when the android threat arrived, the Saiyans needed to get stronger. With intense training in his Super Saiyan form, Vegeta's aim was overwhelming power. He would achieve this in the form of the powerhouse, Super Saiyan Grade 2. His energy continuously rising along with his muscle mass. This form screamed power. Grade 2 wasn't a perfect transformation, however, which is why Vegeta stopped increasing his energy after a certain point. Trunks went past Vegeta and used more energy, entering Super Saiyan Grade 3. While this power is higher than it was before, making him far stronger than Vegeta, his muscle mass slowed down his fighting mobility, thus making it a useless transformation. Goku's approach was completely different. Seeing the weakness of Super Saiyan Grade 2 and 3, Goku decided to master the regular Super Saiyan form instead of forcing more energy out of it like Vegeta. Goku has reached Super Saiyan Grade 4, a transformation flexible enough to be used as a base form even when sleeping. While Goku and Vegeta's Super Saiyan forms both gave them a significant increase in power, the end result of each form is completely different. With Super Saiyan Grade 2 and 3, you become slower in exchange for power. With Grade 4, you get more power. But instead of being cursed with a slow speed, the warrior is blessed with the means of reaching Super Saiyan 2, a brand new transformation. After this, Vegeta would slowly begin to walk Goku's path, unlocking Super Saiyan Grade 4 and Super Saiyan 2. He'd even start a family, just like Goku. But deep down inside, he still had a darkness that he allowed the wizard Babidi to unleash. Again, Vegeta walks on his old path, killing thousands of people on his new home, planet Earth. After returning to his old ways, he would be able to see things clearly. Going back on his old path, gave him the opportunity to realize that he enjoyed his new life far more better than his old one. Abandoning his old path, he would sacrifice himself. Once revived, he would be considered a hero. From here, he would walk the exact same path of Goku. They'd both become Super Saiyan gods and surpass that power with Super Saiyan Blue. During their training with Whis points out that Goku and Vegeta are far different fighters. Goku being more loose and skillful, while Vegeta was more strategic and brutal. In a way, Vegeta was still walking on his own path. In a way, Vegeta was still walking on a separate path than Goku, but it wasn't the same as before. Instead of walking the path of evil that he was before, he took elements from his old path and took elements from Goku's path, added them together and created his own path of life that he himself can walk, becoming more of his own character. Vegeta is a brutal and aggressive fighter, but he's shown that you can be pure of heart and still commit murder without being evil. As long as it's for the greater good, I guess. Anyways, Goku would reach the peak of his path. Because Goku walked the path of a martial artist, aiming to not only challenge stronger opponents, but to master himself in order to improve, Goku would awaken the divine state and power of Ultra Instinct. Ultra Instinct is a state that anyone can master with the correct training, but angels seem to be born with it. His movements change, becoming more fluid and masterful, being near perfection. Every movement being powerful enough to crush his enemy, while simultaneously being a work of art. He flows like water. Vegeta tried to achieve Ultra Instinct, but it was against his nature. It wasn't a part of his path. His new path had no place for Ultra Instinct. It wasn't the final destination of his new path. All Vegeta could do now is increase the power of his Super Saiyan Blue form and level up to Super Saiyan Blue Evolved. However, as we know, Vegeta would be left in the dust by Ultra Instinct, his form only being comparable to Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 20. Ultra Instinct is a natural form for angels, so it's suitable that they train Goku for it. Vegeta is the opposite of Goku, so naturally, he needs to find his own final stage that is the opposite of Goku's. He needs a teacher whose force is the opposite of that of an angel. One that stands side by side with an angel, the god of destruction, Beerus. Vegeta walked the terrible path of violence and power. He also walked Goku's path of a martial artist, and took values from that to replace his evil ways. Although he's a pure-hearted Saiyan, the path that Vegeta has always been on was one of power. Now Vegeta has finally reached the end of that path. Vegeta walked the path of absolute power to obtain the state of destruction. Ultra Ego.